Welcome back. So the next couple of lessons we're going to do some refactoring. We're going to change our code to make it easier to change, to read, to reuse. We're going to try and make it better. So my main problem right here, right now, is that I feel that my add product inside the add component is starting to be a bit polluted with different service calls. Let's call it business logic, because I need to know that if there's a file, I need to upload the file. When I'm done uploading, I need to get some metadata, and I need to kind of add the product with that metadata, which is the picture ID. So this is great and this works, but it would be a lot better if I could move this logic into my service, right? The product service. Because if I could do that, it would be a lot easier when I want to switch it out later, maybe for another image provider, maybe for another database. It would be a lot easier if I didn't have to go and change everywhere in my components as well. So we're going to try and move this code in the next couple of lessons. And this lesson, step one, is just going to be setting up a new method that I want to move the code into, right? Instead of trying to change the add product method, instead of trying to change the upload method, I'm going to create a completely new method where we're going to provide the data that we need to kind of add a product with an image. So let's start there. So I'm going to jump into my shared and my product service right here. Now we have the add product right here, so I'm going to create a new one called add product with image, right? Now to add a product with an image, I need the product, of course, so that's the first part. And then I need some kind of image data, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an image data interface, some kind of image metadata interface. Let's try and do that. So I'll jump into my terminal right here and I'll say ng generate interface, and then I just need to kind of put the path for the interface. So it's inside /files. That's where I want to put it because I feel that the image is still a file. It's going to be inside files, inside shared, and it's going to be called image metadata, right? Just like the one we had for the file. It's just going to be a small extension of the file metadata. Good. So now that should be available up here. There we go. We have the interface available. And then what I can do is start adding the information I need. The first part I want in my image metadata is going to be a base 64 image. This is going to be a string, and there we go. And then we are going to have actually a metadata, file metadata field as the next thing. So file meta, and that's going to be file metadata, right? So again, the idea is pretty much that we're going to have the image as a base 64 image right here. It could also be a blob. And then we're going to have some metadata that we need to kind of upload the image. So I could actually go in here just to make it even better and just make one more, which is going to be image blob. Then we can use both if we want to. Then it's up to you if you want to use the blob like we're already doing, or you want to actually use, there we go, or you actually want to use instead the base 64 image. So I'll put both of these optional, then you can choose what you want to use. We'll dive into this more in the next couple of lessons. But now we have some image data that can pass in the image either as base 64 or as a blob, and then we have some metadata, right? For that file, pretty much just mean that now we can show the name, the type, the size, last modified, and stuff like that if we want to send that as well. So what we need to do is say, when we add a product with an image, of course we should pass in an image. So what we're going to do is we're going to now pass in image data. So image metadata. There we go. So now we have that available as well, and now we can actually in the next lesson start providing the information we need to kind of make all of things that happens inside the add component right here, all of this mess, we want to move that into a single method called add product with image, where we pass in the information we need to kind of create this image. And when we're done, we're only going to get one observable back, making it so much easier for the add component, add product up here, to actually go in and create our product without all of this mess right here. And the important part again is that we as developers, right now this might seem simple, but as we start expanding this program, this will get out of hand and we won't be able to read it. That's one thing. Another thing is if we decide to make product adds somewhere else, we'll have to write the same code once more. That's duplicating code, not a good pattern, not something we want to do. So let's get this into the service. See you next time, we will continue this work.